It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Oh, Dick, you could not be more correct. The sweet taste of victory. Beating the Leafs is like, I don't know, like 5 wins against anybody else. It just, it's that much more important. And especially to end that losing skid, right? That was paramount that they won tonight. Dovish has to be in nets the next game. I know I sound like a broken record, but if Marty plays Monty the next game, I don't know. I'm going to, well, it can't happen. He can't do it. I think he learned from his lesson from 2 weeks ago that the most important thing in Marty's life was trying to get Samuel Montembeault going. It shouldn't be. It should no longer be the most important thing in his life. Team first. Team needs Monty and nets. They play better with Monty and nets because, with Dovish and nets. So, Dovish doesn't let in the first shot every time. Dobie is a battler. He wants that win so badly, right? You could see when they scored that empty netter, just how much he wants to win. So it's got to be, for now, Dobie's the guy. And that's got to be the way it is. And that's the most important thing to come out of this game. Dovish has to be in that the very next game. Big, nice to see Josh Anderson scoring, right? He, I don't know, but in his last 10, it's got to look pretty good there. How many goals does he have now? He's on a bit of a heater, isn't he? I'm just curious to see here. But what is it, like 4 goals in his last 6 games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 goals in his last 6 games. Gotta like it, considering that he started the year with 1 goal in his first 15. So nice to see. Nice to see our man Josh, because he's a power horse, right? He's an important part of the team, and I love to see it. My buddy Paul Antoniadis weighed in. He was at the game, and he mentioned that Florian Jackeye has to get faster, and I can't disagree with that. You could notice it tonight that he's a little behind the pace, but I'm sorry, he injected some life into the team. And how about that scrap? Chris Lee tried his best to, give her the old effort at the end by what? Mermis starts punching. He doesn't get an instigator, but Florian gets a slashing call. And you saw how upset Marty got. Seems like every time there's a scrum or anything like that, if there's ever a team that gets the extra 2, it just seems like it's always the Habs, right? But anyway, water under the bridge. They held on. They beat the Leafs. Huge, huge victory. Just had to have that just so badly. It's huge. Hey, what do I see in yellow here? Samurai Knight, $10. Okay, that's not what that'd be 1,000, 2,000 pesos. Thank you, Grant, for doing these each period and giving us a place to talk. Proud of all the Habs tonight. Top to bottom effort. Keep up the good work, Grant. Hey, man. Thank you very much. That's that means the world to me. It really does. Oh, and Mark matching him with another 5, so that's 10. At least 10. Maybe that's 12 from Mark tonight, counting pre-games and everything. Thanks, guys. I really, it's always highly appreciated. Um, let's have a quick look at the stats here. Um, 2 more assists for Matheson. +3, 23 minutes. Mike Matheson, you know what? I'd have him on the Olympic team. I'm sorry. He's just playing. He is playing so good. And how good would he be on a friggin' Olympic-sized ice? I just think he would flourish. He, I, I have a hard time being convinced that there's 7 or 8 Canadian defensemen playing better than Matheson right now, let alone 8 defensemen in the NHL altogether. Matheson is he's playing lights out. Man, he's they got to resign this guy. I wouldn't mind if they did it right now. Actually, I'm curious about Matheson here. Um, okay, I thought he had been on a better heater than that, but he's been putting up good numbers of late. That's 2 more points. Let's just go back here. 2 more points. So he's got 5 in his last 3. Um, four in his last 2. He's really man. I just love the way he's playing. He has been excellent this season. He's now up to +11. Just playing solid hockey. Galley had another strong game. 3 shots, getting in everybody's face, getting in their grills, right? Galley had another solid effort. Nicky picked up an assist, +1, 20-27. Oliver Kapanen, you know what? No points tonight, but I loved his game. He was 73% on faceoffs. He's getting better and better at them, man. He won some really key draws in the offensive zone and like cleanly. And I love the way he can switch hands either side. He's just getting better and better. And grit. What do you think of his grit tonight? Even getting in a little punch up at the end of the game. But Oliver Kapanen, unsung. He was screening the goalie on the 1 goal from Dobson. Key face-offs, +2. Went gritty, just an all-round great effort from Cappy tonight. I'd if I was in the dressing room and you wanted to give it to an unsung hero tonight, Oliver Kapanen would be a good choice. But I bet you Anderson ends up with the goggles. I mean, nice to see Andy have a 2-goal game, right? Led the team with 5 hits, 2 goals, 18 minutes. Hey, Josh Anderson against the Toronto Maple Leafs. What can you say? I don't know what his career stats or his stats are with the Habs against the Leafs, but man, if he could play against the Leafs every night, he'd be a 40-goal scorer. He'd have a $12 million contract. Power horse, fantastic tonight. Absolutely. Just looking at have a quick look at some more stats here. Another solid game from Hudson, 20-24. I like the fact that nobody played 25 plus tonight. Arbor got quite a bit of ice time, I believe. 15-10? Good. You got to like that because he earned it. And I really liked Slav was fabulous tonight. I like what Marty did there in the 3rd period. Said, you know what, Slav, put you back with the boys, right, on the first line. Because, I mean, who's better tonight, Slav or Bolduc? Well, no comparison. You see, it's games like tonight when you see it, right, where you see Slav. There is a lot of skill there that we don't always see every night. But when he's rolling with the puck and moving, like he's got pretty silky hands, and he gets going. There's a lot of skill there that sometimes gets a little underrated. But you know, it's with Slav. It's more than anything. It's just going to be getting consistent, right? Becoming a more consistent player. It's going to happen, but at 21, you're going to see flashes more than you're going to see constantly. Um, Hopefully by 23, 24, we have the whole package, and then whew, look out, because there's a lot of tools in his toolbox. That's for sure. Florian rocked him. Yeah, I don't know. That Mervis kid, it's not very big, but he 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 got a bunch in. I mean, they were hitting each other in the friggin' visor, really. I don't know. Did anybody really connect with a good headshot between the two? I mean, it looked fun, you know, hitting each other in the visor about 30 times, but I don't know that nobody got a Struble connection in there. That's for sure. There was no knockout blow from either of them, but it was fun to watch. Um, I'm delayed about 15 seconds here. Yeah. Let's see if we can get to a few comments here. Carrier holding the puck in the corner must have been 30 seconds. Yeah, that was the old days. They blew the whistle there, right? But not not here. Mum doesn't seem too happy. I guess people were coming on here during the game, weren't they? At the end of the game. Let's see if we can. But I'll join you, Grant. The line with Andy. Flo looked energized tonight. Can they bring that every game? Yeah. I don't know, but I think Flo definitely earned another look, right? That's for sure. He oh boy. We got to win more often, eh, guys? Money's flowing in. I'm almost gonna, it's not 200 pesos, but thanks, Paul. I really appreciate that. Every bit helps, my friend. Jake Moore, Bolduc would benefit from playing with Slot because of his bread and butter is a shot in the slot. Bullock is on to be the first in the forecheck and do the puck retrieval for the other two. That's interesting, Jake. Yeah, maybe that's what needs to. Oh, geez, Samurai, did you win the lottery tonight, there, Samurai? Another 5. I appreciate it. Got to head out for the night, but wanted to give some more love. Really proud of my team. Hoping they can bring it back next game. Have a wonderful night. Hey, man, I really appreciate it. Yeah, and hey, like the episode, please, and uh, subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, obviously I'm going to keep doing these live chats because I mean people are really contributing not only with monetary wise, but great comments and we've got a great community we've built here. Florian started his action the same as Slav did. I was watching Brantford and remember to check out the stats. It will prove my point, and glad he got over the send down. Thank you, Jacques Lachance. He started his at the same time as Slav. I don't quite get that first part, but yeah, I think I know what you're getting at. And hey, he's just got to get a little quicker. But the rest of his game, I like. It's only I think just you still got to get a little stronger, lower body and stuff. But started his ascension. Okay. At the same time, thanks for clarifying there. I wasn't quite. Usually, I can break things down, but yeah. Florian better than Davidson? Yeah, I don't know. As soon as Davidson fights and he clocks somebody twice his size, you'll have a different opinion. I mean, Dakota Mermis isn't a very big guy. I don't know. Uh, it was exciting to see him fight. He got an assist, but it would. I don't know. I think we have a tendency to kind of. It was the same thing in the preseason with Florian Jacki, but hey, it's fun to have favorites, I guess, and I mean, good for him. But he hasn't played better than Davidson this season. He got an assist tonight, got in the scrap, but Jared's playing really good hockey, and he skates better than Flo is right now. You could notice it tonight. The NHL pace. I don't know that he's quite ready for it yet on a full-time basis, but we'll see. He brings a lot of elements to the game, so seemed to help that line. Boluk is the one that I wasn't really happy with tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Bolduc trying to play with two elite, and I don't think he's near their level. Hard to play with guys sinking on a hole. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, they're in a tough spot, right? Somebody's got to play. They need somebody in the top six to go with the other five, and yeah, I agree that he hasn't looked great with them so far. I mean, hey, he was it's only his second year in the NHL, and he was fourth liner last year, so it's a lot asking him, and he's only 22 years of age, so it's a lot asking him to move into that role, but they don't really have a lot of other options right now. That's why I think they're probably exploring, getting O'Reilly or Stamkos or someone like that can step into a top six role, and help keep the ship afloat till the other guys get back, because the East is wide open this year, as you are well aware, right? Like let's have a look at the standings here again, but I mean, what are the Habs? Couple points out of first place or something ridiculous like that. It's just so tight. Detroit won again, but Montreal 25 points and Detroit is 27, right? And the Habs have a game in hand. 595 win percentage. And the Red Wings, Tampa, and Ottawa are all at 619. I mean, basically 1 point difference between all of them, right? So, as it stands right at the moment, apparently they're not in the wild card, but they're 1 point, 2 points out of first place in the division. It's just crazy. It's absolutely nuts how tight it is in the standings right now. Like even at the bottom there, Buffalo, Toronto. Like Buffalo is 20, Toronto is 21, Rangers 22, Florida 23, Caps 24, Buffalo 20, or Columbus 25. Now, have you ever seen it where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the bottom six teams are all 1 point apart? it's absolutely incredible. So the Habs. Hey, are the people backed away from the cliff here? It was doomsday on Twitter, and a little bit here. People were getting a little discouraged, but especially on social media, just the Habs are done, da 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 da, and then you see an effort like we saw in the second period tonight. Like, yeah, Matthews and Nyes weren't playing, but the Habs have friggin' few guys out too, and they just were all over them. Like this team, when it is firing on all cylinders, they can compete with anybody, and it's just a matter of when you're young, when you're the youngest or second youngest. They had the Habs as the second youngest, but I still think they're the youngest. But whatever, second youngest or youngest team in the league, you're gonna have inconsistencies, right? Especially when the goaltending's inconsistent. But you get half decent goaltending. Um, you get some consistency from the club. They can roll with the big boys. They're a really fun team to watch and look a lot stronger than Toronto tonight. It wasn't. It really wasn't close. I didn't think. Um, let's get to a few more questions here. Uh, I like Jacques Lachance. I like the contagion Galley and Anderson brought along with Flo. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh, what's this? Suzuki V8 engine, 279. Thank you. That's a kind of a cool figure. Did that was that like translated from pesos or my man Susie is looking sick again. Yeah, yeah, sick. Yeah, he's Susie's playing well, isn't he? And hey, I appreciate the donation. Every bit's every bit helps. Texier has a lot of skill and can help produce more secondary scoring. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind Texier. I wouldn't mind them picking him up, actually. It comes down to I would keep 63, 71, 17 together for a while. They looked awesome tonight. Yeah, yeah, they didn't look too bad. Florian was fine, little behind the play at times, but that's not the end of the world. Um, he brings so many other things, right? So, um, Gig 5087, with the East being wide open right now and teams getting conservative in the late third and tie games, do you propose the point system to be changed to 3-2-1 for regulation win, 2 for OT win? You know what? I think it's time to explore that. It really is. I I hate shootouts, and I hate the fact that a team gets 2 points for winning a game in a shootout. I'd rather have ties and count single points than awarding a team 2 points for winning it in a shootout. It just drives me crazy. I just think it's wrong, you know. Um, the 3-2-1 would help eliminate that, although that doesn't change the fact that you get the same amount of points for winning um, in a shootout as you do for winning in overtime. And that might bother me as much as anything, the fact that you get the same amount of points for winning in a shootout as you do for winning in regulation or even overtime. I wish they could fix that beyond it, this regulation overtime wins being a tiebreaker type thing. Um, People can weigh in on their thoughts with that. As far as Texier goes, I think what's going on with him is that like everyone's open to signing them, right? It's not a claim; it's a signing. So I'd look into it. I really would. Francois, holy jeez, guys, I really appreciate this. Thanks, Grant. Another goal by H tonight, but I can't say he was dominating. I'm still perplexed about his potential. Yeah, well, he's still got to get stronger and bigger. you know. Um, has good games and bad games. So you were like, how many TVs did you have on tonight, Francois? Or were you not watching the Habs game or what? um, Glenn S. Current standings are insane. Montreal sitting 17th overall. With one win, they would be tied for 4th overall. Yeah, they'd also be tied first in division. That pack will be interesting once it breaks. And the thing too is, like you can be in first place in a week's time. You can be either in first place in the division or top having a top 10 pick in the draft. It's just it's nuts. Um, Thunder Gods. I agree. I would rather have the ties than the shootout. Not sure how you feel, but I feel shootouts have taken away some of the excitement of the penalty shot. Yeah, I just don't like them in general at all. I never liked the idea of it. It's not soccer, you know. Um, I don't know what I would do, and I know they'll never freaking do it. But I in well, what we called midget hockey back when I played. Uh, Whenever you played in the ODMHA playdowns, um, we got to overtime. You had 2 minutes 5-on-5, 2 minutes 4-on-4, 2 minutes 3-on-3, 2 minutes 2-on-2, 2 minutes 1-on-1, or well, not 2 minutes, but 1-on-1. If it got to that point, and it never did, but if it ever got to that point, and I think maybe once we played where it got to 1-on-1, but even that, still 1-on-1. It's not 1-on-0, but exciting. Oh my goodness! And you play 1-on-1 till the game ends, and I mean it never goes that long. My goodness, so suspenseful, and they never do it. But that's what I would do for overtimes, and I'm telling you, it's I've never seen anything as intriguing as that, and it's um, really fun, really fun. 2-on-2 is kind of fun to watch too. Uh, Hockey Ninja Slafkovsky reposted this stream. Yeah. Mm. Somebody said that one other time too, and it was baloney. Maybe somebody named Slafkovsky, but not Uri Slafkovsky. He's busy. Joseph, what do you think of Texier? Yeah, well, people have been asking me. I don't. My opinion on Texier is no more informed than anybody else on here. It's not like you know I spend my time watching Alex Texier. Like I watch guys in their draft years, and then after that, I see them here and there. But you know, my spent most of my time since Alex Texier was drafted watching draft eligible prospects, not after they're drafted. I don't. There's not enough hours in the day for me to be, you know. I watch Habs prospects, but prospects from other teams, I don't. I just don't have time to follow their careers really closely. I mean, there's guys out there that do lists on everything, and I don't know. I mean, you can't do anything really if you're really focused on putting out a draft list every year. These best players under 24 lists that these guys do that also do draft lists. Yeah, all you're doing is spreading yourself so thin that none of your lists are competent as far as I'm concerned. So I, you know, I have spent the last 15 years putting out a draft list every year, and as far as trying to do that competently, but also to you know do redrafts because you're watching all these guys after they're drafted and everything. There's just not enough hours in the day to do all of it competently. and what you end up doing is nothing is overly competent because you're just not spending enough time on what you should be spending it on. So, but to get back to your question, I haven't seen enough of Texier to be like to honestly give you. I could say, oh, da 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 da, but that goes back to basically his draft year, right? I mean, he's got decent size. He his physical game has developed as playing pro hockey. I don't know. I think like what's there to lose? You don't have to spend any assets. He gets bought out. His contract terminated. He's not going to be looking for a lot of money. So that's the main thing, right? The Canadians have injuries. They need some depth. He'll be cheap. He won't cost you any assets. So what the hell? Bring him in if they can. And who knows? Maybe he can help. El Heat, there's a new name. Think they will get pushed around in the playoffs? Yeah, I don't know. They had a tougher team than Toronto tonight. With Jacky in the lineup there, that's probably the toughest group that the Canadians have had in a long time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Which guys get pushed around? Like, are there any soft players on the Canadians? Not like even Hudson's not. He's a little warrior, right? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. I'd like to see Davidson with 91 and 93. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that would work. Cappy is going great. A lot to be proud of. Oh, geez. Look who just showed up. Paul the Greek. $20 super super sticker. So you figured out how to do that, eh, Paul? Thanks, my friend. That's much appreciated. And tell us what you think, what you thought of Dobish. Leave a couple comments in here. Yeah, I know, eh? Friggin' $20, boom. Well, when you're former COO or CFO of Stelco, you $20 isn't huge dip. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it. It's I got a 10 spot. I even got $100 tonight, Paul. I mean, it was $100 in Dominican pesos, but hey, it's all good. Big win, thankfully. Yeah, that they needed that. Huge. Yeah. Oh, let's see if we can all get Grant to that $100 this eve. Yeah, that was a tease, eh? My goodness. Wow, somebody sent me $100. What does DOP mean? Oh, Dominican pesos. Oh. Why was there a dollar sign in front of it? That anyway. I must be geez. I've probably got like $60 in donations tonight. Something like that. It's pretty cool. I appreciate it, guys. Got to beat Toronto. Got to play Toronto more often and beat them, eh? People are in good mood when that happens. Paul, I think Habs have the next decade to see this team flourish. When the final team is assembled, we will be tougher to play against and have some scoring punch. Can't wait. Yeah, that's well said. I think Paul's gone now, but what's this? Fiberless bear? We're getting some new people in here. Filterless bear. Okay. Will Marty finally let Arbor off the leash? Oh, not sure I quite. Arbor's Arbor's developing. These things take time. Um, L Heat 1, 2, 3. Think they will get pushed around the playoff. All right, we already had that one. Casanova 69. Slater. Last time Three Demons scored in a Montreal game was 1976. Was an interesting fact they really relayed over commentary. Really? Are you sure about that? Really? There was no game where Chelios, Svoboda, and Desjardins or something along those lines. Chelios, Svoboda, and whoever scored a goal. Really, eh? That's interesting. Wow. I wouldn't have thought that, but hey, tonight was the night of defensemen. Um, 2 goals for Reinbacher, 2 goals for Dobson, goal and 4 assists for Engstrom, goal for William Trudeau. You know, um, goal for Hudson, and who else? Who was the other? Oh, okay, it wasn't 3 different. It was 3 goals all told. So there wasn't 3 defensemen that scored. So that, okay. So 2 defensemen scored tonight. But that's not the first time a defenseman combined have scored 3 goals for the Habs. Friggin' Eric Desjardins scored 3. As we all remember, that anyone that's old enough to remember back against the LA Kings, Stanley Cup Finals, 1993. Yeah. All right, guys, let's get her up over $100. Keep her rolling. Thanks again, Paul. I really appreciate that. JF Dubé. Hey, by the way, if you're watching this on X, join us on live chat. We're getting new people all the time, and we're having a lot of fun on here. You don't have to donate money. I'll read your questions, even if you don't. Grant, would you bring up Thorpe next if Davidson has a shoulder injury? Oh, does he? Ooh. Well, then I'd sign Texier for sure. No, I don't think Thorpe's ready. He's just out of junior. Give him some time. I'd call up Beck. Beck's looked good, actually, last couple games. Be better if after 3-on-3 still tied, each get a point, no shootout, goals don't count in player stats. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather have a tie. YouTube, YWYC. Hey, newcomer, I assume. By the way, we're up over 1,000 people that have viewed this podcast, and that's 38 minutes in. That's second most, I think, ever at this point. I know for after that Nashville game, that crazy comeback, we had 2,000, but this is crazy good. Thank you, Eric Rodriguez. Hypothetical situation: if Habs are in the mix and Columbus ends up in the bottom, should the Habs overpay for a guy like Olivier? Olivier. Well, you think why would Columbus want to get rid of him? He brings a lot of elements. I mean, yeah, sure, Olivier would be nice to have, but I don't know. There's an overemphasis on, how important is winning fights in today's NHL? Like, you know, who was the on the Tampa Bay teams that won two cups? Did they have the toughest guy in the league? Did they have guys that were pounding? Not really. Florida last year, they had Gadjevich, but I mean, he barely played in the playoffs. You know, they didn't win because they had the toughest guy in the league, and Florida had hardly any guys that you call scrappers. You know, there's a I think there's too much emphasis on the importance of winning fights when you know what's the last NHL team that had the toughest team, the best fighters that won Stanley Cup. It's not very often. You can go back over uh, what Boston in 2011 maybe with Lucic and Chera might have been the last time, or 2010, whatever year it was, maybe the last time you could say, okay, they probably had two of the top five fighters in the league or whatever. But it's I think that there's too much. Yeah, for macho reasons. Hey, it's nice to be able to beat up other teams, but frig, with Arbor, Struble can handle himself. Friggin' Florian, if he's in the lineup, Jared Davidson can scrap pound for pound. He's really tough. You know, Anderson, beat up. Um, you know, couple of like Truba and Wilson last year. Anderson could freaking go. It. I I don't know that we have to be obsessed with having the toughest guys in the league. It's winning winning games is, I think, you know, um, not based on having the this isn't the 90s anymore. The game has changed. It really has. And I still think that there's still that, a little bit of a caveman mentality when it comes to just how important that is in having a successful hockey team these days. Hey, Grant, second period was the most dominant period of hockey I've seen by any team this year. Man, they had the freaking puck, didn't they? The Canadians were just, yeah, that, like, Toronto looked like an AHL team in the second period. Like, I'll give him some marks for coming out in the third. Berube, it's not the first time with him. You can tell that when I think he's pretty good at motivating, because they came out and they actually made a game of it when it looked like, you know, uh, well, I mean, that goal at the end of the second, up until then, frig, uh, Wool, they could have, they could have had 7-8 nothing lead, uh, if not some saves by Wool there. Did Sorry ever get a hat trick? I think he probably did. Yeah. Um, will Engstrom get called up soon? Why? Because he had a 5-point night. What? The defense is playing great. Um, no, I don't think so. The they're getting all sorts of points. They don't need another offensive defenseman on the blue line. They need better defending, and that's not Engstrom yet. Let him keep cooking. Him and Reinbacher down on the farm. I'd be more tempted to call up Reinbacher if I had to call up, because he's better defensively, as far as I'm concerned. Bigger, more rugged, brings what they need more. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Engstrom. I just don't think there's a spot for him right now. If they didn't have Matheson, Hudson, and Dobson, then yeah, you bring up Engstrom and he provides some offense. But what, they're the second highest scoring defense group in the league right now. The only thing that they've needed to do is tighten up and be better defensively and be more physical. And that's not necessarily what Engstrom would bring. Like, if you replaced Jacky with Engstrom or Struble with Engstrom, you know, they're losing some physicality there. I know this, so, well, Grant, you were just saying that fighting it. Yeah, but I'm not talking about fighting. I'm talking about physical play, punishing in your own end, playing hard down low, not scrapping necessarily, but playing physical like Struble and Jackeye with Gooley out of the lineup. They need to be in there. And Engstrom replacing either of them doesn't make sense for me at this point, as well as he's playing um, offensively in Laval. It's just not. It doesn't make a lot of sense right now to bring in another offensive defenseman when it's tightening up and playing better defensively and more physical, clearing the front of the net, all that stuff. Engstrom's not. That's not his game, really. He's still got to get a little stronger. So, I guess the answer to that question for me at this point is no. Thorpe not ready. Yeah, no, I don't think he's ready. No, he's just out of junior. He's gotta pick up the pace a little bit too and get a little stronger and get experience, right? Yeah. Be best if after 3-on-3, if it's still tied, then each team gets 1 point, no shootout to him. Yeah. I really appreciate the fact that it wasn't our first line that won the game for us. Secondary scoring is so important. With defense getting in on things was nice to see. I agree. Eddie, here's Eddie. You got any no stats tonight, Ed? What do you think is the potential for Logan Sawyer and Bogdan Konyushkov? Yeah. Well, every prospect can't make it, right? These guys, third round picks on a team with, hey, Bogdan maybe, just like Engstrom, maybe he's a trade piece down the road for the Canadians. Maybe he, at some point he's the third pairing defenseman, but he's not that big. He's not that physical. He skates well. He can do a lot of things well and probably play in the NHL, but there's no dimension there, I don't think, that tells you, he's definitely going to win a spot. Put it this way: I like Bryce Pickford better than Konyushkov as a solution 3 years down the road. Just Konyushkov, I don't know if there's an element to his game there, a special quality that will enable him to win an NHL spot. He reminds me a little bit of Jordan Harris, that type of player. Maybe would be a bubble kind of guy for the NHL. Logan Sawyer, I don't, he's a dangler, and the Canadians have better danglers in the system. The skating's got to come, but he's not, he's not overly big or overly physical, or like, he's almost got to play a top six role, and there are more skilled guys coming and on the team. So it's going to be tough for Logan Sawyer to win a spot in Montreal, and the same with Bogdan Konyushkov. Not saying that neither could maybe play in the NHL someday, but I'd be surprised if it was in Montreal, just because they're just so loaded with young talent, right? I mean, what TSN just did a U24 top teams, and Montreal's on top, and I'd have them there too. So it's just because of the depth, which is a good thing, right? Francois, I like how the Habs were running down the clock in the third, either by wasting time circling the puck or with forecheck and locking the puck behind Leafs net. I was angry at Galley's icing, though. Yeah, Yeah. No, those are good points. Where's Sheldon been the last couple? Haven't seen Sheldon unless he's got a different handle here. On the third goal, I like Galley getting off to stop offside from happening. So there. See, some people like Galley, some people don't. Yeah. Yeah, Texie, I don't know. Like my take on Texie is I don't know him well enough to give you a great scouting report. Ask go online and ask Columbus fans, or you know what I mean, uh, who've watched him a lot. I can't honestly say that I've seen enough of him to have any more better opinion than anyone else. They had Goodrow, Maroon, Coleman, and Colton. So not one of those guys is any tougher than Anderson, um, Jackeye, Struble. Like, you know what I mean? None of those guys are tough. Like, none of those guys are Matthew Olivier's. They're not. None of them are close to the top 10 fighters in the NHL. That it just proves my point. Montreal's got, you know, I can name and Colton, Coleman. They aren't tough guys. They aren't heavyweights. Goodrow, no. Maroon, I mean, he big, stocky, but he couldn't fight either. Really, they didn't have any fighters. Really, that team didn't win because they had heavyweights fighters. They didn't have any. People, I believe, think St. Louis is putting chains on Arbor, but he wants Arbor to choose the right time to fight. Yeah, turn momentum of the game. Yeah, chains on Arbor. Oh, jeez. Drum dude. Thanks, Grant. Appreciate you doing this tonight. Great win for the boys. Have a great night. Okay. Okay. We'll go for a little while longer here, guys, but I think we pretty well summed things up. Jack had a lot of turnovers, though, unfortunately. Not really. People always see the games differently, eh? Yeah, you had a couple, I guess, but what's the official? One giveaway. Is that the official stat? Arbor Jackeye. 4 hits, 1 giveaway. 3 block shots. That's everyone sees the game differently, eh? I don't agree with you on that one, Buntoon. Reinbacher needs to dominate in the NHL for the entire year. Well, no, he doesn't. If he's dominant over the next 3 months, they need him on. They'll need him. He comes in, lane shifts over to the left. They need him in the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, if he's ready. Engstrom can play on the right side. No. My God. Didn't see Arbor do many turnovers. You're not going to bring Pierre. You're not going to bring a friggin' guy up, a rookie, from the AHL and play him on the right side because he's played a bit in the AHL on the right. No, man. They already have friggin' Hudson on the right. Liam would know all those stats, Grant. He is quite the yeah, he does. Thrawn, Toronto make beliefs. You said it, my friend. Francois, I like where Reinbacher got his goals. Yeah, I know. Right in the friggin' slot. Beautiful. Rocket wins 7-2. Habs should have won. Great weekend so far. Yeah, for sure. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the only Leafs North America to sprout in the fall, grow in winter, and fall in spring. There you go. Owen Protz. Tommy Habs Myers. Owen Protz brings the heat. Give him time. Yeah, well, again, you only have so many spots. on the friggin' team, like uh, what's everybody we've named tonight? Like if Protz is in the lineup, if Engstrom's in the lineup, Reinbacher's in the lineup, Kanyushkov's in the lineup, what Hudson out, um, you know, Gouli out, Matheson out, Carrier out, or all these guys out, Dobson, like you just numbers wise, you just not everybody can make it. It's a pleasant problem for this team. Maybe Protz plays sometime, but is Protz better than Struble? Or is he going to be better? He's not better than him now. Will he be better? Maybe. He doesn't skate as well as Struble skates. You know, similar puck skills probably. Hit and strength wise are about the same. I you know like he'd have to be better than Struble, and right now he's not close. So who knows in 3 4 years if he ends up being better than Struble, then maybe he eventually beats him out for a spot. But you know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I've learned many years that um, the guys that are on the team right now are good, and will any of these prospects be better? Like just like everyone assuming Hage is going to be better than Kapanen. What? I don't know. Kapanen brings so many things to the game that Hage doesn't. Will Hage be as good all around as Kapanen? Probably never. Is he Dangle better? Does he have better offensive skills? Yeah, probably. But will he be a better goal scorer? I don't know. Like, will he be better all around? Probably not. Um, Kapanen's going to be a very good face-off man. Hage, she's not very good on face-offs, right? So, yeah, he was picked higher in the draft, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna end up being a better prospect. It's wait and see, and you know, again, these are all assets, and some of these guys will never play for Montreal. It's just because they're really strong. Their under 25 core is excellent, and you know, uh, it's hard for uh, a guy to get beat out, especially 3 or 4 years from now. Like some of these guys will be in the league 6 7 8 years, and they're only going to get better too. Well, does one of these young guys come in and beat them out for a spot? Like, it's not going to be easy. There aren't going to be a lot of spots available in Montreal's lineup 2 3 years from now, because they they're a very competitive team and they're the youngest in the league. So that tells you that the guys that are on the team right now, the young guys, are good. So it's not going to be easy for Protz to crack the lineup. It's not going to be easy Kanyushikov to ever play on the Habs. It's not going to be easy for Engstrom to find a spot, especially with the left being so strong. Like, you're not going to bring in Engstrom to play on the right side instead of Reinbacher. It's just not going to happen. So where does he play? When Gouli's back, there's probably not a spot for Engstrom in the lineup. But that's okay. It's fun to talk about prospects and fun to talk about, might they be better, and will they get called up and will they play on the team? But it's a pleasant problem for the Canadians that, uh, a kid like Engstrom on some teams and some organizations would get called up now because he could help them. He'd be better than a couple of the one or two of the left defensemen that they have on their team, probably. But that's not the case in Montreal right now. Montreal's defense I think is very good. And yeah, they have a few hiccups here and there, but in part, it's the unsteady goaltending can make your defense look worse than it really is too, right? So you get some steady goaltending, and I think this defense group that they have right now, and then especially when Gooley's back in there, it's pretty strong. One of the better um, one of the better seven defensemen groups I think in the league. Um, Matheson, man, I just love Matheson's game this year. He's been so good. Montreal's cycle game was very impressive tonight. Hey, Michael. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, for sure. Playoff hockey, all the players have to play tough or not turtle when a hit is coming your way. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Geez, a lot of people seem to think Protz is way tougher than Struble. All of a sudden, that's the new narrative, is it? Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree on that. Leafs miss Marner. Yeah, don't they? I think they kind of miss Nyes and Matthews a little bit too, right? Yeah. Wall makes 5 godly saves. Then Andy scores a top corner goal on him, and Berube pulls him. Yeah, well, I think that was more out of compassion than anything. uh, yeah. Oh, Protz will be in Laval next year. Probably 2-3 years in Laval, and then hopefully he's ready to come in and play. Protz is meaner. Oh, okay. Well, that's all that counts, right? No matter if he doesn't skate as well, he's meaner. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. TVA Sports Après match interviewed Florian. He is beaming with pride, playing his first game against the Leafs at the Bell Center. Yeah. Um, that's pretty cool. He was beaming with pride. Okay, can we get off the Prots and like let's talk about the Leafs, the game tonight, and not go down the rabbit hole here, guys. Start debating who's meaner, and you know, we can we there's no use going off uh onto a whole new subject that's irrelevant at this time. Um, TV Sports, a prey match, interviewed Lauren. He was beaming with pride. That's pretty cool. That's good to hear. Cappy was much better. Yeah, he had he was great in the face-off dot tonight. Russell Smith, great show. Thanks, my friend. Toronto traded away their first round pick in 26. Yeah, aren't they the mighty Maple Leafs, eh? I don't know. There must be a lot of panic going on in Toronto right now because, I really, I suspected that Marner being traded away. You know, blame everything on Marner, friggin' 100-point scorer, played in the Four Nations Cup, gonna play in the Olympics, and think that that's gonna solve your problems. You got to make the playoffs first, right? You trade 100-point score like that. My goodness, like crazy, crazy. They don't look. They Easton Cowan. Well, he's going to be a decent player. Matthew Nye is okay, but other than that, under 25. Like you look at the Canadians and you look at the Leafs. There's not a lot coming. Danford might be an okay defensive defenseman. Man, oh man, it their window could be closed shut right now. Love how Cappy at 22 is a veteran of his trio. Yeah, I know. I like that 4-on-4, Marty really likes having Cappy out there, right? He Cappy and Susie, but I noticed a few times that Cappy, Demidov, when it's 4-on-4, he likes getting Cappy out there, which is nice to say. Nice to see. Yeah, yeah. When Montreal's young forwards learn to come back to help and how to help the defense and the goalie, the defense will look better. Mr. James, 2567. Yeah, 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 that's true. True. Um, that's part of it. Like the defense, uh, well, they did play better tonight, the forwards, and that's one of the reasons why the defense was really solid. You got to support you got to support your defensemen, right? That is a good group, and I thought Jacky was solid tonight. I thought they were all solid, but it helps when the forwards are uh, coming back and really supporting. You know, Susie needs rest. Well, uh, didn't play a whole as much as he had been. I think he had a couple less minutes, but still he's over 20 a night. Oh well, he sleep when, like Warren Zevon used to say, sleep when he's dead, right? Thrawn, don't forget to put in a like, people. Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll go for a few more minutes here, guys, but I'm gonna have to pack it in. Let out my pup. Hope the Demic Happy Slap line sticks and just keeps improving. Well, uh, I don't know. Slap was back with the big boys at the end of the game. We'll see, but you might see that line reunited too. We'll see. Woo! What a game! Beat him on the scoreboard in the street. Lol. Dovish #1 going forward. Never traded demon like Dobson. Lol. Baby Jacky got to stay. Yeah, maybe. Thanks, Jay. Don't disagree necessarily with those comments. Dovish has to be in that the next game. This time around, Marty's got to ride him. He can't. It's not about getting Monty going. He tried that and it hasn't happened yet. Monty will get, next back to backs or whatever, get him in there. But next game, Dobie. And if he wins, next game, Dobie. If he wins, next game, Dobie. It's just what it's got to be right now. Captain on the power play for 210. Thanks, Marty. Yeah, he's getting a little more. He's getting a little more ice on the power play. The Habs D isn't bad at all. They're ranked 8th in the league for scoring chances against high, medium, elite, and shots on goal. 85% percentage every night makes them look bad. 85% save percentage every night makes them look bad. Well, that's how I look at it. Young forward group, inconsistent goaltending. That improves, and I really like this defense group. I think they're really good. Dobson, it's people like I like Heineman. I would have kept him if you could. You had to trade good assets to get Dobson, right? But people that Islander fans chirp, and this and that, and putting down Dobson. They're not watching him, right? I get why the Islanders made the deal, and I think it was smart on their part. Getting those 2 mid-round picks, getting Heineman, smart, because they brought in like Schaefer is going to be their #1 guy on the right side, So trade away Dobson because he wanted to get out, get those assets back, and it's great for both teams. It really is. You know, um, can't trade dog food for prime rib. There you go. You know, uh, but Canadians are never going to regret that deal. I don't think Dobson was exactly what they needed. Look how much better Mike Matheson is, right? It's just, hey, Thrawn, $20 or $10, 20, $10. That's really appreciated. Thanks for the OT tonight, Grant. Good talk again. $10, a great job. And for the amount of goals we should have had tonight. Yeah, thanks a lot. You know what? I freaking counting the pregame show, intermission, and stuff. I must have almost got up to 100 there, guys. That's whoever was saying there. Let's get that $100 that Scotty. I thought Scotty had sent me earlier, but damn close tonight, guys. That's just such appreciated. We'll go a little longer here. Since I got that $10 thrown, thank you. Tommy Habs Myers and Time Schaefer will be the number one on Team Canada. Yeah. No, you're right. He's franchise defenseman. The Islanders, got a franchise defenseman. Was it 73 or 72? Danny Potvin. And, 50 years later, it's happened again. And he'll be their pillar to being a contender again. And he'll be a pillar on Canada's defense for a long time. What a player. Can you imagine if the Sharks would have ended up with Schaefer? Oh, boy. Yeah. Imagine, eh? Tommy Habs Myers. Yep, that Denny Potvin guy. He was all right. Quite a player, eh? Man. Sammy Pollock tried his best to get him. I don't know, I never heard what the offers were, but I'm sure, anyone but Lafleur, basically. Um, yeah, absolutely. Al's got a gift from the hockey gods with Schaefer. Go from 11 to 1. Yeah, I know. But that's why, so teams that tank, right? They don't get automatic. I like the way things are set up. That you can't just tank and get the top pick. I think it's the right way of doing it. Potvin sucks. Yeah. Every time they see him, they yell that out in Madison Square. Yeah, for sure. Paul, did you just come in to give me $20? You had 2 comments and then off. What a man. So we had $5 from Francois and Suzuki $2.79. Paul $5. 15, 20, 30, 40. Jeez. I may have brought in $100 tonight from people contributing. That's good to know. I got a sponsor yesterday, so things are looking up here. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, folks. All right, quickly there. If you got a couple more questions, lay them on me. No more questions about Owen Protz, if you don't mind. I love Protzy, by the way. He's going to play in the NHL at some point. Hopefully with Montreal, but you never know. Here's a what if for you. I read that Habs tried to trade for Marcel Dion. Oh yeah, they tried. They tried to trade for Dion too. They did. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Lafleur, Dion together on the same line. Mind you, you know, I don't know if it would have. Well, I mean, it would have worked, but um, you know, Mahovlich brought a certain amount of defense and size to that line, right? And then Lemaire might um, might have been the best two-way defensive center of his era, and Guy kind of needed that on his line, right? Somebody had to check, and Marcel wasn't necessarily, you know, he didn't win too many playoff series, and as great a regular season point getter that Marcel was, there were reasons why LA never did anything in the playoffs, right? Because Marcel, I wouldn't call him a standout defensive player either, and Shutter a little better maybe than those two in that regard. But again, so would that would they have won more cups with that as your top line? As I when I was a kid, I'd have thought yes, but I mean there was a reason why Pierre Larouche uh, you know, wasn't centering that line, and when he did finally, and he scored 50 goals, they lost in the first round of the playoffs because there was nobody to check on that line. So that's why a player like Oliver Kapanen, and I keep coming back to it, why he can be a second line center and an effective one, because he does all those little things, the things that Jacques Lemaire did, the things that um, that are just so important to winning. You know, you have to be able to shut down the other team's top lines. You're not just going to fill the net all the time, and so yeah, I mean Dion would have been great on the team, I'm sure, but would they have won more cups than they did? Well, hard to win more than four in a row, right? Um, we'll never know, but it, nothing's a given. I mean, they might have set records for points. Uh, Dion and Lafleur might have been 150 point, uh, might have scored 150 points each. But the Boston Bruins, the year that Dryden came into the league, they set goal records that were just like, I think they scored 100 more goals than the greatest team ever before in history, and top 4 or 5 scorers in the league or close to it, and it just juggernauts offensively. Lost in the first round to the Habs, right? Habs had a better all-around team. So anyway, uh, you know what? I do find Kapanen is a bit Lemaire-like, and Lemaire-like, that type of player, right? Um, Dave Brown, keep Slav on first line and Bolduc on second. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I might. Yeah, yeah. Kapanen reminds me. Yeah. Well, I whispered that in the off season that uh, Bergeron was never a 70, 80 point score. He scored 70 points once, but you know, never scored 80 points, but considered one of the best two-way centers of the past 20 years. Kapanen is that sort of player, You're not always going to appreciate everything he does, but he's gonna back up the guys on his line too, right? They can let them do their magic, and he kind of does all the little the spade work, right? The back checking. Did you see the back checking from him tonight? Phenomenal. All right, folks. Looks like we're petering out here. I think I got caught up with everybody here. I think we can win with Kapanen as a second line center. Yeah, I do too. I know I've been saying that, but going to be interesting to see how Kapanen and Damanov play in the second half. Yeah. Cap is a thief. Oh, I know. Pickpocket for sure. Thrawn, you're heading off. Okay. When somebody donates a little money, I always I feel like obligated to stay around at least till they're leaving anyway. So if you're going, Thrawn, I think it's probably good for me to pack it up there. Got to go tend to my dog. Okay, folks. Hey, press like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're gonna keep doing this. It's going great. Wow, 80 to $100 in donations tonight. That's just super fantastic. Just great. Thank you. Hello again, Grant. What do you think the Habs have to fix in the next 1-2 years? Oh, well, I think more than anything, K-Jack is that they just need to gain experience, maybe get a little grittier, a little bigger, and gain some experience. And I think they've got the pieces to win it all, 2-3 years. If they get the goaltending, they got to get a goalie. But I think that it's in the system. Those freaking Cornway again last night. I didn't see the stats tonight, but he's in Cornell. He only let in 1 goal again last night. He's looking really good. I was quite impressed by him. And Miller in Denver, Volokin, they're all very promising. On top of Fowler, of course. So, hey, I think things are pretty bright when it comes to goaltending. I can't wait till we get Jarosky over here in a couple of years. Hage, just keeps improving. It looks really bright, and Francois will end it with this. Demidov, number 1 rookie points in the league. That wild, eh? Cornway is killing it, man. He looks fantastic on highlights. Yeah, I made a video. I put it up on my Patreon page, and if you have become a member of this YouTube channel, email me. I'll leave this quickly here, Grant at HabsCast.ca. If you have become a member on here and you haven't gotten a free subscription, I will send you a link. No, Pierre, you're $50 for lifetime there. No, you argue too much about Owen Protz, so I'm not gonna. Oh, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'll send you a Patreon. I'll send you a Patreon membership. Okay, my friend. Okay. All right, guys. That's it. Cornway could play in today's game and be a star. He was when he played. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're not talking about Alexei. Yeah. You'll send me a few more bucks. Okay. Sounds good. All right, guys. 1,200 people tuned in tonight. nice to wait till the get near playoff, man. We're gonna or 1,311. That's great. Okay. Have a great Saturday night. Rick's going to be on with me tomorrow. We're going to do prospect of the week. We're going to start doing a draft prospect of the week, and Habs prospect of the week. Look forward to that. There's a lot of them in the running. I have to go so that I can actually get that ready, get the video ready for that. So I must depart. Thanks again. Thank you for all the monetary contributions. Like, wow, what a great night. 80 to $100 in contributions. That's just crazy good. I'm very encouraged. Okay, thank you everybody. I'll try to get the tomorrow's stream up around noon, probably. Try to get it up before the NFL football. So, okay, thanks, and have a good night.